We're going to do a moment of silence once he gets out here.
No, man, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, so last night I got here about 10.
You built a Target store overnight.
This is
It's like,
You guys sure did.
back at 7 this morning.
Thank you so much for coming.
We sat up 2 rows later. I was there like, well, we need 2 more rows to table. So it's like,
and it's not just this.
oh yeah.
It's been here.
Yeah, the main one I did up here was, I think,
That's right, because I was sitting at home.
Yeah, many years, many years.
Well, my daughter was like,
We're good.
how are you?
First time granddaughter.
So they want their turn.
Get everybody started so we're
I can.
yeah, we're doing quick.
Yeah, because I have to radio to them in the office to do an all-call thing.
Yeah, but just if you wouldn't mind going to the podium, tell them who you are, what's going to happen.
Okay.
Like say your first and last name.
Wagner.
There you go.
Just like the.
Just tell them what you're going to do. You're going to make an announcement for legislators.
Okay.
They have to come out with a radio to the office.
Okay. Okay.
hey man, boy, this is amazing.
I think we can get you over.
Kyle, are we ready for that announcement, or?
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, hello. My name is Kyle Wagner, high school principal at Indian Lake High School. We're going to do a moment of silence here just a second. You could just give me a second. We're going to do a moment of silence. If you could join me. Okay, you can make that announcement.
Afternoon. This time we would like to have a moment of silence for our Laker community, students, staff, family, and first responders that have been affected by this tragedy.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Governor Mike DeWine. We just had the opportunity to drive through a good part of the damage in Indian Lake. It is, we've seen an awful lot of damage. Our heart goes out to all the families that are trying to put things back together, and certainly for those who have been injured and those who who have died. What we see in this gym, I think, is symbolic and real, but of the spirit of the people of this part of Ohio, the Indian Lake area, and the other counties that were impacted by the tornadoes. I'm always amazed at the resilience of the people of the state of Ohio. I had the chance to talk to some people who have lost their house or lost part of their house or who had been in some way impacted. and to see their spirit and their resilience and their toughness, and how strong they are, it's just absolutely amazing to me. I want to thank the first responders who have done a phenomenal job. I want to thank all the volunteers that put this together here. I asked some of the law enforcement, how in the world did you check all the places? And they got it done. But we also had neighbors who were watching out for neighbors and who were reporting back in regard to neighbors, whether they were checking to see if they were doing okay. So I'm here today to, again, express my sympathy to those who have lost either their life, for those who have lost their families who have lost someone, or someone who have been injured, and so many people who have lost their businesses and who also have lost their homes. This Indian Lake community will come back. And that's the message I got from everybody. We will be back. We are coming back. And it's not lost on any of us that the summer season is almost here. So we're going to continue to work with local officials from the governor's office, and I know Matt Huffman is here as well, and he's going to speak in just a moment. And we've already started talking among ourselves about some of the things that we can do to be of help, and we're going to again continue to do that and work very, very hard with the local elected officials. Let me introduce Lieutenant Governor Houston.
Thank you, Governor. What we saw was devastation. If you go and see the path of the tornadoes, you can see the damage, and you can see the people who are there, first responders, but also neighbors, volunteers, people from the community, bringing their chainsaws, bringing generators, trying to help with the needs that people have. But when we had a chance, and a lot of the people in this group, and the governor had a chance to stop and talk with people, you could hear the resilience. You could hear, even in some of their voices, gratitude that it wasn't worse, that they didn't have more damage, that they didn't have loss of life. I talked to one group of people who went into their crawl space just seconds before the tornado hit, and you just hear their stories. You empathize with the situation that they're in, but you can just look around this room and see the resilience and the commitment to each other, and why this community will recover strong and be better than ever, because they're going to pull together. You've got great first responders and law enforcement officials that are going to provide the services that are needed. You've got the utility companies. You've got everybody that's pulling together to try to get the basics restored so that the cleanup process can go forward. And it's the sense of community and resilience that you see when you're out there talking to people is uplifting. So despite this tragedy, the human spirit is triumphing around this community. Let me turn it over to, I think, Senator McCauley or Senator Huffman. Senator Huffman.
Thanks very much, John. I also want to thank. We have an incredible emergency management system in the state of Ohio. Sometimes we talk about how these things get funded and how are they used, and we know they're used. It's not just in big events like this, but it really hits home on days like this, that through the years, Governor DeWine and the legislature has built out this system that has saved and is saving a lot of lives right now. So I want to thank those folks. They're also want to thank the media for being here, drawing attention, especially a lot of the local media who are here that are going to get these stories out, not just today, but really over the next several months, because as the governor said, the season is upon us. I also should say that although clearly Indian Lake has taken the brunt of this, I was in Auglaize County this morning with Representative King, and there is considerable property loss and injuries in Auglaize and Mercer and Darke County as the storm came along that. So there's we're thinking about those folks too. This is Senator McCauley's district. I used to represent it. He does now. But I'm going to ask the majority leader to come up and talk a little bit. Rob.
Thank you, President Huffman. As you mentioned, my name is Senator Rob McCauley. I'm the state senator for this district. And I'd like to reiterate many of the comments that have already been made. The first responders that so quickly, even as early as last night, and many of whom have spent many hours since last night trying to help out in this area, it's impressed me so much. From counties away, in some cases, sprung into action and have come here to help out their fellow neighbor, their fellow Ohioan. I think that's important to note, how quickly these people sprung into action. And frankly, I would like to also reiterate the amount of resilience that we've seen and frankly, the hope that we've seen on people's eyes as we've gone through the community. A family we talked to on Orchard Island as we were going out was telling about the experience that they went through and the devastation on Orchard Island and how that's impacted them. But they mentioned that this morning one of the first things they did after daylight came is they observed a flagpole in their front yard that was hanging low and almost touching the ground with the American flag. One of the first things they did was they propped that flagpole back up, because they told me that it was a sense of hope for their community and for Orchard Island to be able to see that flag flying and seeing it upright in the air. That stuck with me, and also coming in this room, and I hope the media will report on how full this room is of everything from diapers to baby clothes to clothes for adults to toiletries to anything for this community to rebound. Frankly, they even told us before we came in this room was going to be full of stuff, and it still didn't prepare me. This is what we were told from a school administrator before we walked in, what they refer to as the lake effect. The community deciding to come together as one and rally around each other in a sign of cooperation for everybody. And so this is impressive. I hope everybody will take notice of this. And it's how Ohioans get behind each other to make sure that they can pick each other back up. So without further ado, I'll introduce State Representative John Cross, who is the representative for this area. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank my fellow colleagues, Representative King, Barhorse, and Manchester, for being here as well. We all rally behind Northwest Ohio. We want to get to work. The message that we want to send is, when we called the governor last night, Steve and Sally had a tornado go through Hancock County in the southern portion. And Governor, thank you for being here. And Lieutenant Governor, thank you for being here, because the message is we're going to get Indian Lake back on its feet as quick as possible. How many nickel, dimes, or quarters it's going to take, we're going to get the money and we're going to fund and get Indian Lake back on its feet. This community has had a challenging time with the issues of the water and the weed vegetation, and we were right there fighting it. And we're going to be right there to get Indian Lake right back on its feet. And as the media leaves and everyone leaves, we're not leaving. We're going to stay here and keep working. We're going to get back to session here soon, and whatever the governor needs funding wise, you tell us. President Huffman will get the check, we'll sign off on it, and off we go, because we got to get this community back open. This is a community that relies on tourism. We have devastated businesses that lost everything. We need to get these businesses back open. And so our commitment is we are going to be here, and we're going to make sure we can do everything we can financially possible to get this community back on its feet and have a great summer, and hopefully in the next year rebuild this great community. Thank you for being here.
I'm State Senator Steve Huffman, and I've had a place up on Indian Lake here for 20 years, and I understand what the lake effect. And I've been in this community for 20 years, and I've appreciated it. Just every summer coming up here. There are friends out there that have lost their houses that live next to me. I live on Orchard Island. The southern part of Orchard Island is just absolutely devastated. Again, Governor, I appreciate you and Lieutenant Governor Husted, the President. I know you'll come back, and I will be up here this summer just about every day and look forward to helping you any way that I can. So thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Look around this room. This tells you about this community. I had no idea what to expect when I came in here, but look at this. We should be proud as a community. Yes, it was a tragedy of, beyond description. It looks like a bomb went off out there. I'll tell you what, our heart goes out to those that are deceased, those that are injured, those that have lost everything. Just tragic, and we're going to do everything we can to help those people get back on their feet. I want to talk just briefly about first responders. As county sheriff, I could not be more proud of the way the first responders responded last night, be it law enforcement agencies, fire, EMS. I'm telling you, folks, it went fantastic. It couldn't have went any better, really. We'll debrief that down the road, and what did we do right, what can we do different, but overall, these people went above and beyond, and I am extremely proud of what they did. I'm proud to work beside them, and I just appreciate each and every one of them. Thank you all very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Joe Antrim. I'm one of the Logan County Commissioners. And of course, we're heartbroken with the devastation that our community has experienced within the last day or so. But we are resilient. We will work hard. And certainly, the commissioners have made a declaration of disaster here in Logan County, and that can open up resources that can help recovery on so many levels. We do appreciate and acknowledge all of the donations that people have brought in from all over the state. We did want to mention that there is a cutoff of 5 o'clock today to bring those items here to Indian Lake High School. The distribution of all these items for the people that need is going to take quite a lot of effort. And so anyone that, now that you've donated, if you're able to help with the distribution, that would be the next step. And naturally, with all of the acknowledgement of help that's come in the last, several hours, this is going to be a long-term recovery for our community. We're going to need people in the next few days, next few weeks, next few months to recover, but we will recover. We're a resilient community here at Indian Lake. I'm a lifelong resident here, grew up and live here now. And so I've seen a lot. This is one of the harder things that I've had to see happen to our community. But I know we'll get through this as well. Thank you.
Chief?
Hi, I'm Mark Gibson with Indian Fire District there in Russell's Point. This was truly a group effort for everybody. The sheriff, Chief Fryhoff over there, Chief Thompson, the 2 other police departments, and the multitude of other fire and EMS agencies that came in last night to start searching. It was a long night. But they stayed with it and kept searching. And like I say, we finished up about 4 o'clock last night, and we started again about 8 o'clock this morning to start everything. We had a couple people come in from out of the county, from Union County, to help search. We had the urban search and rescue team come in from the state to help search also. And the multitude of agencies, fire departments from around the area was unbelievable. And we want to thank all those folks for coming and helping last night and today. Thank you.
Chief. Okay, we're happy to answer any questions.
Residents here in Logan County and really across the state that were impacted by the storm. What are you going to do
Well, we have a system set up. There's potentially some federal assistance as well, but the state also has some assistance. And I think what we, of course, always look at is, what does insurance cover, but what's not covered. And there's always things that are not covered. And so we're going to, do whatever we can do to try to make these folks whole. We're going to do it for people with their residents, also people with their businesses. The experts are already out, analyzing this paperwork we have to go through. But I just wanted to be here today to say to him, his family, anybody else, we're going to do everything we can, working with the state legislature, to make sure that this community comes back. The main thing that's going to bring the community back is the people, because the people are just strong and they're resilient, and they're going to bring this back. Look, everybody in this part of Ohio knows about Indian Lake. If you don't have a summer home here, or you know somebody that does. I have a sister-in-law who has a home here. So everybody knows Indian Lake and what a great place it is, and it's going to come back. Who else?
Governor, you mobilized this morning state resources to help out with a lot of different aspects of this. Will you declare a state emergency soon, or is that what you were talking about, this process?
Certainly will. Let me ask Sima if she wants to add anything to that. Sima. You're right there.
So as we continue to work, I'm Sima Merrick. I'm the State Emergency Management Director within the Department of Public Safety. So the question is, we will continue to work with the local county emergency management to conduct damage assessment. Those damage assessments are the integral part to assessing loss, insurance, and then moving that forward for financial assistance, recovery, long-term recovery, however that would most affect this community. I do want to mention that Ohio has a very, very robust system. We're very resilient. As it's been mentioned, we've had a lot of first responders and mutual aid come through. We first want to address life safety. Then next, which has already started, are the recovery pieces as well as the damage assessment. That damage assessment is critical to how we get the most amount of financial assistance and recovery assistance into the area. So with that, we'll continue to brief the governor and the lieutenant governor as that comes in, and we'll provide assistance in helping expedite those damage assessments to make those decisions. There is not a timeline because there's a lot of damage. So we've got to address the life safety, which is being done. Recovery is ongoing, and in that goes the damage assessment, as well as the pieces of talking to each homeowner, and not all homeowners are around. So it takes a little bit of time to do that. We'll do everything we can to throw the resources forward to assist the county to get those damage assessments completed.
Do we have any updates on the number of fatalities and injuries or buildings impacted?
I don't have anything on the number of buildings. I can just tell you, though, that, as governor, I've responded to a number of different wind-related or tornado-related events. I actually lived through the Virginia tornado. Building I was in collapsed on top of us and we crawled out. But nothing prepared me in regard to what we'd been hearing in the pictures for actually driving around and seeing the damage. There's a tremendous amount of damage here. I think the loss of life in all likelihood was smaller than it would have been if this had occurred on a weekend in July or June, when more and more people are here. The damage is very, very significant, and it's quite extensive. I want to mention something else. The Senate President talked about the emergency system that we have constructed in the state over a long period of time. It works exceedingly well. It was executed last night. The other thing that you may not have seen or noticed is that directly coming out of the pandemic, during the pandemic, our hospitals started working together very, very closely. Smaller hospitals exact numbers, but if you look at this part of the state, we got at least 20 people go to different hospitals. I think there were 5 or 6 hospitals where they actually ended up in. So we had great cooperation from hospitals from Toledo to Lima, Dayton, and certainly in Central Ohio as well. So that's just a board. Sure.
We've been getting some calls about people who are a little worried about some are unaccounted for, but I know earlier today you said that everyone's unaccounted for. What can you say about the search efforts to ease everyone's worries that there may be still some people in some areas that haven't been accounted for?
The great search have been done. We believe everybody's accounted for. The search and rescue mission is done. So the best of my knowledge, everyone's accounted for, and we still only have three fatalities, which when you see this damage, you'll be surprised that was only 3. Yep.
It's more of a local question. Somebody on Facebook wants to know, with the power being out in some areas around the lake, what or how are the sewers going to be back up and running?
Sewers shouldn't have any trouble, because they're all generator powered. Water, like Orchard Island, they won't have water until they got electric, and they won't have any heat because the gas has been shut off in the whole island. For your question, there was over 1,700 structures checked for personnel or people trapped in the area.
You know, you've been talking a lot about the good that's in this, which we all see here today. But unfortunately, we know there are a lot of bad actors in trying to take advantage of things. Governor, Sheriff, Lieutenant Governor, can you just share any message you may have for any of those bad actors out there, but also for those trying to clean up?
Yeah, I'm going to have the sheriff do that.
Yeah, obviously a concern is those that want to loot type things. I would tell you, with outside agencies, and again, we've been blessed with different sheriff's offices, the highway patrol, et cetera. I've got tonight at a minimum of 12 deputies coming in from out of county that will be placed strategically throughout the lake to aid Washington Township and Russell's Point in case we can just stop any kind of activity like that. And that'll happen tonight. And tomorrow I'll have an additional probably 12 or 15 deputies coming in and do the same thing. Obviously, we have to continue to conduct our normal duties. So our brothers and sisters from our other counties have reached out and are willing to help us. So we're going to do everything in our effort as best we can to make sure that those people that want to go out and do are not allowed to do so.
The next question people are asking, where do you want them to take debris?
That is a good question.
They're piling it down along the rest area on 366 in Russell's Point. Lakeview, I'm not sure of. The debris that is there near the helicopter pad, there off the bank road between 33, that's really supposed to be only natural debris. That is not supposed to be for siding and house debris and all that other stuff, nails and metal and all. That's for branches and trees and sawdust and all that. I'm not sure what the story is. I think it remains to be seen what will be happening with the rest of the debris from the demolished homes and structures.
Anybody else? Do you know how many?
Discussing or kind of anticipating the potential for more of this to happen longer throughout the year.
This is beyond my expertise. I don't know if anybody wants to take that.
I can't add this, is that those people behind you and the people who are with the emergency management organizations, when they know that storms are coming, they're already coordinating. They were coordinating a potential response long before the storm hit last night. That's why you see so much progress already made, because that's what you pay for. This is what their jobs are. This is what the investment of the people of this state made in first responders, and they have meteorologists that they work with. They have others to prepare for the moment that these happen. Now, whether it happens is, as the governor said, that's somebody else's job. But prepare caring, those folks do it.
Let me just say one final thing. Fran and I were in Cedarville last night, and we're watching the Dayton TV. A lot of times we watch the Columbus TV when we're in Columbus. The information that was coming out was just absolutely phenomenal. You know, to break away from the regular whatever is on and be able to literally watch that TV and see what's coming. It's a huge difference than, you know, a few decades ago. So I just want to thank you know, all of you for doing that. Those of you who are on the air, and it makes a huge difference. Thanks, everybody. Pardon me? Oh, there's no doubt about it. Look, there's no doubt that amount of information saves lives. It is an amazing amount of information, and if you're watching that, or you should be worried, and information is there.
Amber Fagan, Indian Lake Chamber of Commerce President. Please check if you're displaced. United Way of Logan County, that has all the shelters, and the school will be open 24 hours tonight to come get supplies that people need. They're asking no more donations after 5 o'clock, and then at 10 a.m. they're going to accept more donations in the morning. Thank you for everyone who's helped our community.